For all its ups and downs, the Star Wars saga has and continues to smash box office records. So it goes without saying that each film generates hundreds of millions of dollars respectively. But exactly how much have they individually grossed? And in what order do they rank from least to most generated? Well, by looking at their original domestic runs, discounting any re-releases, and by adjusting for inflation to 2017, let's find out. Number 9. The Clone Wars, $43,535,700. We kick off today's countdown with a title you probably didn't expect. After all, Star Wars The Clone Wars was an animated series, not a feature-length film, right? Well, your presumed surprise is exactly why this movie failed to cash in on the saga's trademark appeal. Although, in fairness, it never quite received the same level of promotion as the previous 6 films to that point. Number 8. Attack of the Clones, $462,389,000. Some say Attack of the Clones is the worst entry in the entire prequel trilogy, which doesn't make for much of a sales pitch. Of course, such a claim is incredibly subjective, but given the sheer disappointment of The Phantom Menace, it's no wonder why fans lost their faith and excitement in the series. That was until number 7. Revenge of the Sith, $527,395,500. Outdoing its predecessor by over $650 million at the box office, Revenge of the Sith truly revitalised the series for most fans. Not only do most consider it the best film of the prequel trilogy, but the final chapter in Anakin Skywalker's descent into darkness proved to be unmissable. I mean, so many questions from the original trilogy were finally about to be answered, such as how Darth Vader received his life-changing burns. The promoted duel between Kenobi and Skywalker, master and apprentice, also played a massive role in the domestic success of the film. Number 6. Rogue One, $537,326,000. Rogue One, aka the first ever anthology story from the galaxy far, far away, was never going to top the box office haul of a certain other Disney Star Wars film. For one, it had nothing to do with the new trilogy, hence its title as a standalone movie. And secondly, people weren't sure how a spin-off would hold up against the more tried and trusted formula of the main saga films. Despite this, however, the promise of Darth Vader, epic space battles, and an intriguing plot was enough to draw in hardcore and casual viewers alike. Number 5. The Empire Strikes Back, $701,085,300. This entry is guaranteed to surprise many of you watching this video. Sure, raking in over $700 million at the domestic box office is no joke, but considering Episode 5's stature as perhaps the best film of the original trilogy, its placement at 5th on this list seems a bit harsh. Regardless, droves and droves of sci-fi moviegoers couldn't wait to see what George Lucas and company had next up their sleeve, resulting in a huge return on a rather modest budget. Number 4. Return of the Jedi, $719,942,300. As I just mentioned, The Empire Strikes Back is widely considered to be one of the best films in the entire Star Wars saga, and should therefore have grossed more than any of its sequels or prequels. Of course, this conclusion fails to take a very key factor into account: closure. After 2 utterly fantastic films, there was simply no chance anyone would miss out on the final chapter. Will Luke Skywalker redeem Darth Vader? Will Emperor Palpatine finally meet his end? Will the Galactic Empire somehow thwart their pesky adversaries? These were just a few of the questions running around the minds of fans as the eagerly awaited closure to the original trilogy. Number 3. The Phantom Menace, $754,101,400. Oh boy, where to begin? The Phantom Menace is not the most beloved film around, far from it. But this didn't stop fans from losing their minds over a new installment in the Star Wars saga. I mean, it had been over 15 years since the release of Return of the Jedi, so the sheer prospect of another chapter, a story explaining Anakin Skywalker's fall to the dark side, was a mouth-watering prospect to say the least. It's just a pity the finished product failed to justify the lengthy wait, nor the overwhelming hype. Number 2. The Force Awakens, $961,143,200. Say what you like about The Force Awakens, but just like Episode 1, it was a massively anticipated movie that promised the return of key characters and epic action. Moreover, Disney had an entirely new canvas to work with given their disbandment of the expanded universe. No one had any real idea of the events following the Battle of Endor, and it made for some real intrigue going in. All in all, the hype was real, and Star Wars was back with a bang. Number 1. A New Hope, $1,268,905,400. Was there any doubts? Come on, Star Wars was and still is one of the most influential movies of all time. The unforgettable opening shot, the iconic villain, the unorthodox heroes, the stunning locations. Honestly, I could go on. And I haven't even mentioned the revolutionary visual effects yet. There truly was nothing like it either before or even for a few years afterwards, and this is why it smashed box office records. Over $1.2 billion for a film seemingly destined to flop. I'd say that's pretty good going. So, which Star Wars movie do you think deserves the number 1 ranking at the box office? Let us know in the comments below. If you learned something new from today's video, be sure to leave a like. And for weekly countdown content, press that subscribe button and notification bell to keep it locked here to the Kyrgyzstan.